doing? I don't know. Welcome to the 72nd edition of A Long Time First Time. Where we watch movies sometimes for the first time, sometimes in a long time. And hey, we are live again. God, fucking YouTube. Hey, Brian's here. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I like when you do these afternoon things because I'm more available.
Afternoon delight. Speaking of afternoon delights, Aaron, how you doing?
Oh, is that what I'm doing now? Okay, sure.
I'm down for more afternoon or even like 1 a.m. games like we're trying to schedule in the trio. It's like, hey, whatever works. Which we still haven't agreed on, have we? Tato, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, more noon things.
Wait, is it noon now or is it noon earlier for you?
It's 2:30, but whatever.
No. More 3 to 4 things. JPL sleeps in. So this is again, we review movies that we haven't seen either in a very long time or we've never seen ever. So we're gonna go to our guest here, Brian. What'd you see recently?
I'm gonna go with my longtime one because it's probably the only one of these that you guys have seen. That is The Rundown from 2003. Rundown was kind of The Rock's first starring vehicle, if you're not counting the Scorpion King, which we'd prefer not to count the Scorpion King because it sucked. But I was, and he was one of those things where it's like, as a wrestler, was going to try and become an actor, and you're like, that never goes well. It's always just cheesy or bad. But it's like, this is the first movie I think he really showed a lot of potential, like not just through the physical, like as an action star, but he's got comedic timing, which he'd shown that in like his cutting promos and things. But as far as in movies, I think he really showed that he had potential as an actor, which clearly he's since then kind of proven it wasn't just a fluke. Sean William Scott, I think, is really hilarious in this. I mean, he's just a little bit of a variation kind of on Stifler at some points, but I think it's just Sean William Scott. I think the two of them have great chemistry together. It's tons of fun. I think that Christopher Walken's having a ball, just chewing scenery, doing, he's just playing Christopher Walken to like the nth degree. But yeah, it's just overall, it's got great action. It's got great comedy. It's a nice, quick watch. It's just tons of fun.
Score?
4 out of 5. 4 stars.
Aaron, thoughts on Rundown?
I've actually never seen this one. Although from everything everyone said, it sounds like it's right up my alley. But yeah, just never had a reason.
As Kevin Sorbo once said, disappointed. Tato?
Yeah, this is one of those, my mom worked at the video store era movies, so I copped it on like DVD when it first popped out. And I haven't seen it since, but I remember, just even though I hadn't seen American Pie, I know it's like Sean William Scott doing some Stifler stuff and fucking Chris walking it up. Like basically I agree with everything Brian said, as I recall, and it's fun. So I would probably also be in that 4-star camp.
Little Thunder, Little Lightning, Little Thunder. Yeah, I've always loved this movie. I still think this is one of The Rock's best because this is just fun from beginning to end. Great opening scene that establishes, the character, little Arnold Schwarzenegger passing the torch. Have fun. He didn't say that last thing, but he did say the first thing.
It's implied.
Good fight scenes. He doesn't rock bottom in the club. You're kind of in it from the get-go. Good fight scenes throughout. Ernie Reyes Jr. pops up. Good humor too. It's a really fun buddy action comedy as well. I also love the shtick that like he doesn't like guns, so it's actually an action movie that when they do have guns at the end with him, you're actually like, hell yeah, guns! Like instead of a movie where like every scene's guns, you're actually like excited about the gunplay at the end. So yeah, I like the heck out of this movie. It's a big like rewatch, and again, still literally many years later, still one of my favorite Rocks. So yeah, 4, maybe even 4.5. But yeah, really tight watch. Definitely check it out. If you like The Rocks, this is still one of the most peak rock movies out there. Aaron, what'd you see recently?
All right, I'll go with something that I feel like is in the vein of this group. I've been watching through the Rambo films. So the most recent one that I watched is Rambo, the 2008 film. This franchise is a law of diminishing returns. Like they can be fun, but compared to the first one, this franchise is just a law of diminishing returns. I will say this is probably the second best one to me after the first one. Of the sequels, it's got better action than 2, which I think is atrociously made, and it's not trying to preach something to me like 3 and 5 do. I will say this made me research the conflict in Burma, and I am both happy and disappointed there were not more child soldiers involved, because apparently that was a big thing in the actual real life conflict. That would have been wild. But yeah, it's not a great movie, but it also doesn't try to be. Its action is amped up to a cartoonish degree. Any bullet bigger than the size of a basic round is enough to blow chunks out of a human being's body, no matter what it is. And it is at least shot interestingly, which again, I got to give Sylvester Stallone. I believe he made this one, right? I think he actually directed this one. I do have to give him credit.
Directed by
it's shot interestingly, so it stands out compared to some of the others, which I think are a little more generic. So yeah, this franchise in general, watching through it is disappointing because the first one is so good, but this one is better than the rest. So I'd probably give it like 2.5 out of 5.
Tato, thoughts on Rambo?
Actually a miss for me for how much I love Rocky. I've definitely seen bits and pieces of the original trilogy. I might have seen the first one all together, but not to the point where I recall it well enough. Cool action though.
So if you don't know me, this might sound weird. If you do know me, this should track. Just like Rocky, where my first Rocky was Rocky Balboa, this was my first Rambo. Because it came out while I was actually caring about
makes
movies.
sense, yeah.
I'm just saying, I didn't grow up rewatching the old Rocky Rambos. I just said this was my first one. I was like, oh, this is out. Let's watch it.
What was this? 07, 08, right?
Yeah, this 08. I'm looking at I'm at a 2.5 myself as well because the gore candy's there and you are intrigued in that aspect. But then again, that is why it's only 2.5 because while the other ones might be preachy in a way, there's at least something to it. While here, it's just that's kind of all it is. That I felt to a degree, like fun first time watch, or maybe even a rewatch if you're just looking for that one aspect. But again, not enough to get me to care enough about anyone besides maybe Julie Benz, because I like her from Buffy. So yeah, 2.5, fun enough. Brian, thoughts on Rambo?
Yeah, I completely agree with this thing about diminishing returns because the first one was a kind of like a real movie. It had a solid story and writing, had good acting in it, but it still had some cool action to it. The second one I actually enjoyed for what it was, but it's clearly just switched over to just plain cheesy action, especially with the one-liners and things like that. This one I thought was decent. It came out 20 years after Rambo 3, so obviously he looked much older. It looked like Rambo was bloated, but at least he hadn't quite entered yet that Sylvester Stallone plastic surgery look he has. By the time he hits the last one, so there's that. I am a little disturbed that Aaron wants to see him blowing away children with guns, so that says something about Aaron, I think. But yeah,
Dragon.
I mean, I work in schools, so yeah.
Oh my God!
Not anymore.
Call that
Okay,
school.
cool.
Yeah, what? Don't say that.
But yeah, no, this one, I think the story for me is kind of but once they actually kick into the action, especially when when that mounted gun starts just blowing people to shreds, it gets really fun. So I think I give it 3 stars.
Tato, what'd you see recently?
I saw Mad Max Fury Road finally starting in on the collection of DVDs sent to me by Brian Michaels many moons ago. So this is, I guess we're just kind of in the vein of kick-ass action, and this movie is filled with that. I'm a big color guy, so even in the desert, they do pretty solid stuff with the oranges, and the whole night scenes with the blues really pop. I enjoyed that a bit. Not overly in love with the story of it all. It's relatively basic, which is fine and stuff. It's not bad, but it's really kind of paint by numbers. Get save the princess, punish evil type situation. Princesses in this situation. I wish Tom Hardy had a little more to do in this. Not even not in the movie's called Mad Max, should have more manpower, but in a positive way. Charlize absolutely stole the show, and I wish it would have been kind of more of a two-hander, because Mad Max is kind of in the a bit more in the background, which again I guess that's why Furiosa gets the movie, because Charlize is fucking fantastic here. I adore her performance. She's really, really good. And Tom Hardy is good as well. I just I know he's capable of fucking super amazing acting, and I would have loved to have seen maybe couple more touching beats with him and stuff that were maybe more well explained. But yeah, dig the action. Movie is super good. I'm gonna go 3.5 on this one.
If you don't know me, I'm going to say something that might be shocking. If you do know me, this will make sense. This was my first Mad Max. I saw it in theaters. I loved it, so I went in which I guess also technically storyline wise, this very much could be your first Mad Max, I think. So yeah, I love the fact that it just kind of goes from the get go here. It's a great theater movie. So was Furiosa. Like definitely like great if you ever do randomly, if they ever put them back in theaters, like maybe try to peep that out. I understand the Mad Max thing. I think I didn't think about that though, honestly, until other people said it, because I just love the movie. I was like, oh yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, the movie's great. And that's why there was a Furiosa spinoff. I wish it was kind of Charlize, and I still kind of hope they might someday. But the movie we got was great. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it looks great. George Miller, shout out to him, still doing like Furiosa, however old he is. It's the movie. That movie looks great too. And yeah, just it's kind of balls to the wall. It's great. I like Nicholas Holt's stuff. And yeah, good stuff. And shout out to Nathan Jones. He's the one guy. Brian, thoughts on 4.5, by the way. I do really like this movie. Brian?
No, I love Mad Max Fury Road. The other Mad Max movies before this, I was kind of, they were fine, but I weren't anything big for me. But saw this one and I just fell in love with it the first time I saw it. I think in my one review I said it's the ultimate. It's not the journey. It's not the destination. It's the journey movie. Because like Tato said, there's not a whole lot of story to it. It's just like we're gonna drive there, and we're gonna turn around, and we're gonna come back.
Boys in a journey, baby.
That's the entire plot. But what they do with that time, the action sequences are just phenomenal. Not both in how they're choreographed and what they're done, and just the look of everything. The cars, the creativity that went into the design of the cars. The Doof Warrior with the flamethrower guitar. I mean, people forget this movie was nominated for Best Picture for an Oscar. It didn't win that, but it actually won the most Oscars. It won the most Oscars of any movie that year because it won for like all the technical categories and production design and all that kind of shit.
Rightfully so.
And it deserved everything it got. So I love this movie. I've watched it so many times since it came out. They put it back in theaters, and I went and saw it again in the theater. Yeah, no, this is a 5-star movie for me. I love this thing.
Yeah, no, fair for sure. Coming up, oh no, wait, Aaron. I always skip somebody at some point. Take a shot. Aaron, thoughts on Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah, so I've seen this movie exactly twice. I saw it opening weekend 11 years ago, and then I saw it in theaters again a couple of weeks ago when they put it back out as a part of the Regal thing. When I first saw this, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. And as somebody who was a non-emotionally adjusted teenager, as is normal for teenagers, I kind of went a little harder on the film, I think, because I just wasn't into it the way everyone else was. Watching it 11 years later, I can appreciate that it is a technical masterpiece, but as somebody who gets more out of a story from a movie than just watching great action, it doesn't appeal to me. So I would probably give it a 4 or 4.5 out of 5, but that's the technical prowess, not I'm running back to watch it.
Right on. I saw a movie where Charlie Sheen does a lot of coke and loves women. He's not playing himself. It is a character.
Real life?
No. It's a movie. I swear. It's called Rated X. Actually, here it's about a real life story on two brothers that start off as filmmakers. Him and his real life brother, by the way, Emilio Estevez, and then later on they get into the porn business to make a quicker buck here. It's a really intriguing tale, and actually I saw another Letterboxd review kind of put how I feel. Maybe someday we'll make it a better movie out of it because I feel like there is an interesting dynamic here, but it is one of those ones. What did I say this recently? But in a better way for the other movie, like Lords of Dogtown. This is another example of like it's a long stretch of time that they kind of cram in very quickly here. Like, Charlie Sheen loves women and drinks, and that's about all you really know about that character. And then the end kind of comes out of nowhere. It's not very built up very well. So, I think Sheen actually legitimately is good in this role, and Estevez does direct this, and actually think he does some kind of cool things with the direction of it. I was intrigued, but again, never got to that next level of kind of knowing or caring enough about the characters and the plot of it here. And it felt very kind of like I said, not enough substance really going on what's happening at the core, which is why I think this is kind of a forgotten kind of movie that I saw on Tubi for free. 2.5 stars. Like I said, there's enough where I was kind of in it, but definitely wanted to be in it way more. Probably technically, I would say thumbs down if I had to even roper it. Brian, never seen Rated X?
I have not seen this one.
Aha, Aaron.
I'm shocked there's a movie where the Estevez brothers are together and Charlie drinks and fucks hookers and it's not a documentary. No, I've never heard of
It's
this.
not. I don't know if he does that in Repo Man. I haven't seen that in a while.
I do have a
Yeah.
question. Did you know this
Yeah.
was a Charlie Sheen movie when you watched it, or did you just see rated X and just push play?
I plead the fifth. Tato.
No, why is Charlie Sheen playing Adam Ray as Dr. Phil though?
We'll keep it right
We'll
here.
keep it right here.
Yeah, also too, I don't know if you noticed, that was a scene. That wasn't even a trailer. I can't find the trailer. Like, that's not very often on YouTube that I cannot find the fucking trailer.
Well, I imagine if you search rated X, who knows what's coming up. So
Well, you don't put in like rated X trailer, Charlie Sheen, like nothing. Like, I tried a couple different searches.
Yeah, that's a different video, man. That's
Well, that's not on YouTube, probably. But yeah. Actually,
I will say I just learned about this movie less than 5 minutes ago, and this might be my new favorite film that played at Sundance the year it came out. What the fuck?
What, this?
This played at Sundance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm sure it tried because, like I said, he does some cool stuff with the and obviously it's big stars. But yeah, it's one of those I can see Devil being at a festival and just kind of falling quite death. Brian, what else you see?
let's move on to a movie from 1998 called Judas Kiss. This is a movie in the wake of Pulp Fiction, like every single movie in the late 90s, if you were alive back then like me, pretty much every third movie you watched was trying to be Pulp Fiction. It was just a whole lot of it was a crime with comedy to it, with like several intertwining stories, and it tries to be all hip and cool with the dialogue. Very few of those movies succeeded in what they're trying to do. This one, I think, is probably one that didn't succeed as much. You can actually find the entire movie on YouTube. That's why I watched it this time. I had seen it a long time ago, but like when it first came out. But this is the first time I've rewatched it since then. It's got Carla Gugino in it, which it's worth watching the movie just to look at her for 2 hours, as always. Simon Baker's in it. Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman are in it for whatever reason. I don't know why they would do this movie, because they're both just talking like the weird Southern American accents, and their storyline really doesn't even really have much to do with anything. It's like the storylines don't even really come together that well at the end of the story. So it's like I guess they just put them in there for star power. The movie's pretty mediocre. It's interesting to see. Again, you get to look at Carla Gugino for 2 hours, so I'm fine with that. But I just give it a 2.5 stars. And I'm sure no one else will see it.
For Judas Kiss. I don't know. Aaron, I know you're a fan.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough.
Never heard of it.
Tato, I know you had this on VHS back in the day.
Swing and a miss.
No, Two Truths and a Lie. Might not have had this one. This I love me some Carla Gugino. I did see Sebastian Gutierrez. They did like 3 or 4 movies together. I've seen something else they made, Women in Trouble. I've seen that movie, but I've not seen this. Aaron,
They either are still, or they were at least like dating or married or something at the time. So she did a bunch of movies with him.
That would
Yeah.
make sense. Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say Electra Lux. Sorry, that's the one I saw. Women in Trouble. Girl Walks Into a Bar. This, and then a TV show called Jets. So and Hotel Noir. Yeah, they worked together several times. So that makes sense. Maybe it's like Mila Jovovich and her husband. Like, don't work together. Because the one movie I saw is not that great either. Aaron, what else you see?
What do I want to go with? Sure, I'll go with. I believe this was the Best Picture nominee the year it came out. 2013's American Hustle, which I'd never seen before. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would go on to be the last grasp of many of the names involved. Most of all, David O. Russell. He's been struggling ever since. Also, this was right before we learned Louis C.K. jerked it in front of women, right? So this would be his real last grasp at trying to be an actor. He is good in the film. It's a shame he had to whip his dick out, but he is good in the movie. And yeah, it is kind of funny in retrospect. This is like the last real David O. Russell hit, because it feels like this is him calling in every favor he's ever had. The amount of celebrities that are in this movie, and specifically ones who have worked with him before, is impressive. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I believe this was 2013's like big whiff Oscar film. I feel like every year there's one movie that gets a shit ton of nominations. In this case, it got 10 and it walks away with nothing. For reference, last year's was Marty Supreme. And watching it, I both understand why it was so loved and nominated at the time, because the performances across the board are incredible. The direction is stellar. The editing is really tight. The production design, the costuming, the period of it really stands out. The problem is this came out, I think, the same month as The Wolf of Wall Street, and they're both kind of covering the same idea, which is con men fucking with the rich. Obviously, they're going about it two different ways because they're two different real life stories, but they both just carry this similar vibe to each other. And yeah, Wolf of Wall Street is definitively a better film, but not by much. I would give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Tato, thoughts on American Hustle?
Have not seen. This is probably a bigger miss than Mr. X or whatever.
Rated X. Get your Charlie Sheen directed Tubi movies correct. Well, not directed Tubi. But yeah, no, I've seen this. Yeah, David O. Russell's banging him out for a little while there. Joy's not that bad, Aaron. And also, Louis C.K. would then go on to be in Trumbo and Secret Life of Pets. Then he got canceled. So he had 2 more movies after this.
Oh, God, that's right. He did a kid's film. Oh, Jesus.
And you know what? You whip your dick out in front of a couple of people that don't like it. We've all been there. But anywho, wait, what? Okay, cancel this episode. Yeah, I really like this movie here. Yeah, this is again in that string of David O. Russell from Fighter, Silver Linings Playbook, and this a really great series of films. I also think Amsterdam's kind of underrated, by the way. So he also did that recently. But yeah, I think everyone's giving great performances in here. Another solidify of, well, I don't think anyone's down to Christian Bale, but like another solidify that Bradley Cooper is really great. A little bit of Michael Pena, Robert De Niro pops up a little bit. De Niro seems to care when he's in an El Russell film, so that's always fun to see. Yeah, so I actually was quite intrigued by the story. Again, a great Christian Bale. I really like it. I'm at 4 stars myself. Brian, thoughts on American Hustle?
Yeah, David O. Russell is very hit and miss for me. Like, I love Three Kings, was still my favorite movie of his. And my second favorite one of his is Amsterdam. I think that is super underrated. I like that one quite a bit. But most of the stuff in between, I'm kind of like, whatever. American Hustle is one of those movies that I think I respect it more than I enjoy it. It's decent. I enjoyed it. I give it 3.5 stars. But it's like, I don't really care about the subject matter. I hate most movies that take place in the 70s. It's just an ugly decade. The fashion and car and everything about the decade.
That's fair.
But just I watched it mainly because of the pedigree of all the actors they have in it. Everybody's doing a phenomenal job. I think they got like 4 just Oscar nominations. They got like 4 of them just acting alone.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously everybody's doing a great job. So it's a decent movie. Like I said, 3.5 stars.
Right on. Tato, what else you got?
I crossed a big one off that's definitely been frequently discussed in the community forever. I got to Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Andy,
I had fun with this. Obviously, there's X amount of controversy in the community to where certain people don't enjoy the film for reasons. That it really doesn't bother me. It doesn't.
Name the people. There's like 2 people. That's.
I mean, it's Jay. What are we talking about? It's Jay.
It's Jay.
No, this does not give me the same ick that Poor Things does, though. Like, fucking, they barely fucking have anything. It's a 22-year-old and a 17-year-old. It's unnecessary. I don't know why it exists. I would rather it didn't, but that totally doesn't stop me from digging the fuck out of this movie. I love all the Zelda of it all. Obviously, that is I'm not the biggest Zelda guy, but I still appreciate all the references. The video game-ness of it all in general is super fun for me. I love all that shit. Seems really, really faithful to the graphic novels, which I have not read, but I kind of went back on and looked to see just like how much they did from the novels versus like making up. But it seems really, really faithful, which I always adore in an adaptation. I dig the performances. Like, all the characters are really fun. The dialogue is quippy and witty and just good stuff. Yeah, really, really fun time here. Michael Cera is fucking always fun. Like, I dig Michael Cera a lot. So I will go 4 stars on this one.
Yeah, no, this is another one that I really enjoy. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love me some Edgar Wright. I love his direction style here. I actually thought it was missing a little bit from Running Man, but I think again the editing, the affronting energy is really here as well. Great cast too. Got a lot of people that you'll see pop up huge later on. Even the Culkin brothers now having a great run. A little bit of Aubrey, Allison, and all that. So yeah, I think it's a really fun movie here. I don't even know what you mean by the link references, but I still love the movie. 4 stars, Brian.
Scott Pilgrim was kind of weird for me because when I first saw this movie, everybody was like raving about this in the kind of the geek community, and they loved it. And I watched it and I enjoyed it, but I'm like, it's kind of overrated. But I think I was more just sick of the hype around it because in the years since then, it's become like one of my favorite movies. Like at this point, I'm not sure, but I think I have it up to 5 stars now. I went out and I bought like the whole box set, like all the books. It's awesome. But Tato's right. The books, it's so faithful to the books. They're basically storyboards for the movie. Like he took every panel and made that a frame of the movie and then worked around it. Did a phenomenal job. If you've not seen the kind of sequel series they did on Netflix, it's called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Watch that. It's done in the animation style like the books, and it starts off like you think it's just going to be the animated version of the movie, but then it takes a whole left turn, and that series is awesome. So once you've watched that movie, go watch that on Netflix. It's awesome. 5-star movie for me. Love it.
Good stuff. Aaron?
Yeah, I would say probably 4 stars. This is a movie that falls into a category for me of I really, really enjoy it. I've probably seen it more than once just because it's the type of movie that you put on when you're with a group of people and you want something fun to watch. But I'd be lying if I said the details don't always stick with me about it. It's just kind of one of those, it's in one ear, out the other for me. But it is a great showcase of Edgar Wright's style. I think that this is a great movie to show someone, to say, like, this is, like, it's not so British in the way that his comedies are, that maybe the humor won't click with you, especially if you're not into British humor, but it's also not something that's a little more generalized, like I think Running Man was, where it doesn't fully lean into it. It's a great mid-ground for Edgar Wright as a director. But yeah, 4 stars. Good movie.
Right on. Tato? That's you. Read it. Cool. Who loves the movie called The Oranges? I didn't, but I did watch a movie called The Oranges. So yeah, this is a very ho-hum slice of life movie where Hugh Laurie ends up he's married to Allison Janney. Is it Allison Janney? I'm getting the characters confused. I believe it's Allison Janney. And and he ends up sleeping with the neighbor's daughter. And they end up trying to relationship out here because they want to be happy. Damn it. Leah Shawkat is also the daughter of Hugh Laurie, and I kept just waiting to like something to happen because again, like, you don't really like any of these characters. No one's like super unlikable, but you don't really like them that much. The daughter herself, you kind of dislike from the very get-go a little bit because she's just kind of like flighty and like in Europe, like vacationing, and then her boyfriend cheats on her and she comes, and all these characters are like not really, again, fleshed out very well. I kept waiting for Leah Shawkat. I felt like she narrates and I was waiting for her like moment that never really quite came. It's never really that funny. It's never really that engaging. I just thought it was very kind of ho-hum and fine. And another one that's the reason it kind of fell under the radar. So 2 stars, some good moments with Hugh Laurie himself. He's doing good. Oliver Platt's kind of funny, or at least, again, trying at the very least. So yeah, 2 stars. Brian, thoughts on The Oranges?
I was all ready to say that I haven't seen it, but I looked and apparently I logged it in 2013. Don't remember one frame of this movie. Apparently gave it 2.5 stars though.
Yeah, so you liked it more than me, and you still remember. Aaron, thoughts on The Oranges?
Never seen it.
Thank you, Akers. Tato, thoughts on The Oranges?
I do love orange soda.
I do too. Actually, I don't love orange soda. I love the joke that makes me drink orange soda more than you think I would. Anyway, Brian, what else have you seen?
Where's my last one? I'm gonna go back to 1978, a movie called Hooper. I'm not a huge fan of Burt Reynolds. I don't think he's funny. I don't like his personality. There's just maybe it's because he's so big in the 70s. Maybe because it's part of that 70s decade that I hate so much. I don't know. But I decided to watch this one because it's directed by Hal Needham, who was a former stuntman and stunt coordinator. And I love stuntmen who become directors. I think they make the most fun action movies. There's just several of them working these days. The most obvious being David Leitch and Chad Stahelski, but there are several others as well. Like the guy who did Extraction is one of them, for example. This is basically the Fall Guy in 1970, 1978, because it's basically this a stuntman directed this movie about stuntmen, and it's really just kind of a hangout movie. It's just like kind of all the crazy shit they get up to. They're trying to kind of one up each other with these stunts. There's no like murder mystery like there is in the Fall Guy, but it definitely has the same kind of a very playful tone. It's very much kind of a love letter to the stunt community, and kind of showing what they're going through. So this is actually, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. And I also respected that this one, like the Fall Guy, it relied almost, well, it didn't have CG at the time, but it's all like practical stunts. Like every car they flip is a car they really flipped. Everything they crash, they really crash. People are jumping on and off of horses. They're really doing it. And everything is just real. And there's not a whole lot of plot to this movie, honestly, but it's just kind of a fun hangout movie. There's not really a whole lot of it. There's, Burt Reynolds is in it. Sally Field plays his love interest. Jane Michael Vincent, if you know who he is, and Robert Klein are in there. Otherwise, it's not really a lot of known names. Terry Bradshaw shows up for some random reason. I don't know. I give it 3.
Oh yeah. All right, Hooper. I know we've all seen it, Aaron.
Nobody's seen
I have not seen it, but it does sound. It's probably the most interesting pitch of a film that I haven't seen that I've heard today. I liked Fall Guys. So that's not a bad thing to compare something to.
Did I not sell the oranges? Whatever. Tato?
Nope. Sounds fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Also, I had a hard time finding the trailers. They kept getting Hooper. So I'm like, no, I don't want the animated movie. But yeah, Burt Reynolds, great mustache. Aaron, what's your final movie of the night or day? Hooper and Tato.
So another thing I've been doing is I've been watching through Pixar films, especially ones that I haven't seen in a long, long time. And for the joke of it, I was going to bring up Cars, but then I realized that I don't have more than 2 sentences to say about Cars. It's just such a nothing movie. So I'm going to go with Finding Nemo instead, because I, maybe controversially so, of that golden run that exists for Pixar from its founding in 95 through to Toy Story 3 with 2010, aside from Cars, which I think everyone just obviously looks at as the worst, I actually would put Finding Nemo as the second worst of that group. It's a film that I think is good, but it's never connected with me in a way that I think the other films do. And part of it upon rewatching it is I don't find Dory or Albert Brooks as Marlin to be engaging leads at all. I understand that Marlin's a concerned parent looking for his son, but he's such a dismissive asshole through most of the movie, which I do think is partially playing on Albert Brooks and like the style of comedy I've seen from him in other films. But it doesn't make for an endearing lead. Like if this were a live action film and not an animated film about fishes, I feel like he'd come off as way more unlikable. And look, my mom watched Ellen when I was growing up. I saw her do her little dance on TV and bring kids from Colorado on a national television. But like, look, she's not the strongest actress. And the character's got funny lines, but it's one bit and it runs dry very quickly. And like, to me, the more interesting element of this film is the subplot with Nemo and the tank and Willem Dafoe giving way more effort than this film needs to that intense leader of the group. But yeah, I like, it's still obviously a part of that golden run of Pixar, and I would still probably give it like 3.5 or 4 stars. It's not like I'm calling it a bad film. There's a lot about the humor that works, but I think the side characters they introduce throughout the movie, the Bruce the shark, the turtle, like they're the things people remember from the movie. And watching it now all these years later, it's because I think they're actually genuinely more engaging characters than the leads that we are following. So yeah, that's why. And again, I know a lot of people really love this movie, but that would be, I think it is easily the second worst of this set of films. Again, after Cars, which I just like shrug at. I couldn't talk about it if I tried. It just exists.
I need a rating. You kind of flip flops. I don't know what your rating is.
4.
Okay. I feel like you've given really worse reviews that have like led to still good ratings. Like you've confused me twice so far. Where you're like, I thought this
Well, I
sucked.
also
It's only the
rate-
second
I
worst
also-
movie of a great run of movies, so it's like, you know, it's still good.
All right. I
Yeah.
just really thought I was
I
unsure
also-
like where that rating
I
was
also rate things on a scale of 10 with 0.5. So if I gave this a 7.5, I'm like,
Data?
Yeah, I gotta know, how far away is Noah Vale from Aaron Canola right now? Because he might be in danger. That said, I really dig Finding Nemo. It is up there for me. Yet I can't really dismiss any of Aaron's points that he makes. The lead characters are not
I
the
will.
most interesting part of the movie.
I'm about to
like
debate the
side-
shit out of that, but continue.
bring it on, bitch. I started this. Let's go.
Yeah, I like the side characters a little more. Obviously, fucking for whatever reason, I identify with Crush the Turtle sometimes. Cool cat. I
For
like
whatever
Willem
reason?
Dafoe a lot.
I just figured that was you. I'm like, what?
Willem Dafoe, I love Willem Dafoe's performance in this. He gives basically the same energy he gives in Boondock Saints, which is absurd and off the top, and I'm for it. But yeah, really, really fun. The message gets me. It's just one of those Pixar movies that does Pixar things, hits you in the heartstrings, gets you some good chuckles in there. It's appropriate for everyone. 4.5 for me.
I love this movie. I've seen this movie many times. Okay, here's my quick debate on the whole the argument that you're trying to make. Of course, they're more likable. They're in and out characters that you never get the chance to dislike. And the other characters are the straight people. It's like people saying, yeah, the Joker is more impressive in Dark Knight than Batman. No, duh. Because the Joker gets the fun, crazy lines and gets to come in and out. And Batman just kind of gets to be there to set the plot forward. Yes, his dad's a worried dad. You're not supposed to be like, man, that worried dad slaps. Like, no, he's a worried dad who's looking, trying to find his son. So, of course, the crazy stoner turtle. Of course, the funny shark. The fish gang. Yeah, of course, they're like more delectable and likable because they're in and out and they're fun. You have no time to ever get bored or hate them. Or like, you know what I mean? So point for me and 5 stars. This movie is great. It's literally my number 1 Pixar. Brian?
That's fair. I guess to clarify just my opinion, to counterpoint that a little bit, it's less about finding the character. It's less about finding the characters fun, and it's more about like I just the conceit for me doesn't like the conceit for me of the film doesn't work. Her gimmick of forgetting her memory consistently makes him frustrated, but she is the only person willing to travel across the ocean with him to save his child.
I love that. There's a reason that character got a spin-off, so.
I think Marlon spends more of the movie looking like an asshole than being. It's not about him being funny. Like, I get that he's not funny because that's the whole bit. He's a clownfish that's not funny, but he's an asshole more than he is.
Oh, never it's clownfish, not funny. I never. I still got the point.
It's not just about humor. Because Toy Story, I think, does a great job at making both those characters assholes, but they're still likable.
Ooh, I don't know. Woody's kind of a dick in that first movie, man. But again, okay, we're going off track. Tanner said you were out. Brian, thoughts on Finding Nemo?
I do agree with Aaron in that first kind of 10, 11 films or whatever was definitely their strongest. I haven't even seen like 5 of the last 8 Pixar films, and the 3 I did see I didn't like, which is probably why I didn't see the other 5. I think that the quality's fallen down, or it's just they're doing stuff that doesn't interest me. I don't know. But that first one was great. I will say Up is the worst Pixar film overall, much less of that run. And there's a lot more I like. I mean, I like Nemo more than Monsters, Inc., Bugs Life, Ratatouille. So Nemo ranks relatively high for me. I don't love it. It's not like my favorite or anything. I think my favorite, I'm not going to get into that. But this is a movie that I enjoyed. I think that I also enjoyed it more.
We're getting into it. What's your favorite, Brian? I want to know.
Oh, please say Cars. I would love that.
No, it's probably going to be like
No,
WALL-E.
Brian's not fucking stupid.
WALL-E, Incredibles, some of those.
Incredibles I'm down with, yeah.
But Nemo, I enjoy it, and I think I also enjoy it a little bit more because not so much when I first saw it, but by the time, like a few years after that, like I had my first kid, and And I think that just when I rewatch this now, and especially when I rewatched it with them, it's kind of that parental thing kicks in, especially the way that he's like just being he's always so worried about his kid that he's almost like being overprotective of him, especially because in his case, he's got the handicap with the fin. And so it's like, I really kind of identified with that. I mean, my kids don't have a handicap, but I just meant in terms of just trying to protect your kid from the world and getting hurt and maybe doing a little too much. So I think it hit me on another level on top of that. But even just on a just enjoyment level, I really like this movie. I think it's a ton of fun. I gave it, I want to say 3.5.
Damn it. See, I thought your high school rating was going to be higher now. I can't predict these ratings ever.
I think everybody has their own rating system. It's like that.
No. It's totally fair. I'm just saying, if you had said, here are these reviews, and then guess who was the 3.5, who was the 4, I would have totally flip-flopped it.
It's right. It's like 3.5, 4. It's right in there. So yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. As long as it's positive.
You can write 3.5 if it makes you feel better.
Can I put 3.75? Does that work? No.
No. You are wrong on Up, though. Up is great, so I will fight to the death. Tato, you said you're out?
I don't agree, but I can't call you wrong.
Good, because I'm not wrong, because it's fucking great. Have a heart. We'll then kind of quickly here, because I don't have a ton of shit to say on The Man and the White Van. I'm starting to wonder if this was a fucking Lifetime movie, because that is a Lifetime style title there, where it's just kind of explaining what the plot is in the title here. So little girl, one of the, I think, 3 sisters, keeps seeing this creepy white van that's kind of stalking her at her school here. Her parents don't quite believe her because she kind of has Chicken Littled a little bit in her life, so they don't quite believe her. Her parents are Sean Astin and Ali Larder, probably the reason I threw this on. I like this little girl. It's actually the reason I'm going to be a little more positive, because I actually think she's given a good performance here. One, it is a movie that I think just doesn't have a budget. So, like, almost every kill, because you do find out pretty early on the guy in the white van is a fucking killer. But, like, again, every kill is literally, like, a girl walking down the street, and then, like, he grabs her and then puts her in the van, and then, like, vague, like, maybe, like, you hear her as, like, like, it just stares at the wall, and, like, that's the kill scene in, like, almost every scene. So, you don't really get any kind of thrill out of that, if you will, like a Rambo kill. Like, it's just like that's all the budget they have, is to do like a very plain kill that anyone could film. So there's no thrill in that. It's a bit repetitive too, of her like, seriously mom, the van, stop it, go to your room. A couple scenes later, seriously mom, the fucking van, stop it, go to your room. Like, it's just kind of like whatever. It almost feels like a Lifetime horror movie. Again, maybe I should look into it. But yeah, two stars. Again, I didn't egregiously hate it, but again, not enough to definitely recommend, or that was very thrilling. It finally ramps up a little bit at the very last act, so that also helped a little bit as well. But yeah, Man in the White Van. Brian, as a man who's also in a white van trying to give kids candy, what do you think about this movie?
Yeah, I have not seen this movie. Who is the guy who played the creepy guy though? He looked familiar in that trailer. Is he?
I don't even think that's a red herring, by the way. I don't even think that is the creepy guy.
So never mind. Then. The big guy on the porch is the one I thought I recognized, but never mind. Move on.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
No, yeah, I think they do try to think it's him for a second. I believe that's just a red herring. It's not that guy. Spoilers in case anyone watches this random fucking movie. But no, you find out he's like the fucking cable guy or something. So, why am I cursing so much? Aaron, thoughts on this movie?
Sometimes it just makes you feel a certain way, man. I don't have thoughts, which is probably what this movie intends.
Yeah, fair enough. Tato?
Fuck no.
And as always, we love to end on a whimper. That was a long time, first time.
You want to go back to debating Pixar?
No, yeah, we should. That's way more interesting. So, why don't you like Up, Brian?
Because it's boring and it's not funny. The first 10 minutes, if you put Reset as a short, it's one of their best shorts they've ever made. Everything after that, shit.
Why do I have to fight this 10-minute thing every day of my life? I have to fight this 10 minutes, not every day.
Hold on. All
right.
I like the movie a lot more than he does, but that's softened over the years. I actually agree with him. The first 10 minutes is so much stronger than the rest of the film.
I don't want to hear. I do not like the argument that over the years now. Yes, because you've seen it. That always happens for most movies. Okay, I don't think necessarily. I don't like that argument. Always, and maybe it's just gonna like Up. But then again, I also haven't rewatched that much, so maybe you're right. But what I'm trying to say is,
well, how do you explain that? My view of like Scott Pilgrim and has been better over the years.
I don't know. We're debating one thing at a time. Uh, I think the middle chunk is
Fuck.
so fun. I think the Doug the dog, I think, is very fun. There's a
Dumb.
funny bird, the relationship between the guy and the kid, the payoff
dumb.
of that relationship. Muntz is a great villain. I'll remember that character's name now. I don't know. I think enough definitely works it up. And also, too, that first 10 minutes does come back to pay off even more in the last 10 minutes. So, like, you have to include those last 10 minutes with the first 10 minutes because it's one payoff. So, Up is great. 5 out of 5 again. I will go down with this ship. Brian, plugs, parting words.
My only parting word is I looked up the guy from the White Van. It's not who I thought it was, and then I realized who I was picturing was Chumley from Pawn Stars. Who he looked like.
That guy might actually own a white van.
It was randomly
So-
nameless.
Anyway, yeah, no. Parting words. Bye. Watch Scott
Calm
Pilgrim
down,
Takes
do it.
Off on Netflix.
Yeah, actually, I've never seen that. Aaron, plugs, parting words. The floor is it's yours.
Thanks for having me. It was fun. Uploading stuff now over with Tato on Lights Out. I should have something actually upload. This is live, right? Like we're live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Then yes, I should have the next thing uploading this evening because I thought I set it to upload days ago, and it turns out my internet went out while I was gone, so it didn't actually upload. That's what happens when you don't double check your work, kids. Double check your work.
Yeah, Tato, plugs, parting words. The floor is yours.
Yep. Lights Out Trivia. Check out the stuff that Aaron has going on here. We've got match came out last night. We've got a match tomorrow night and a double header of sorts on Monday.
Piece of candy. Yeah. Oh, hey, ring that, baby. So yeah, stay tuned to this channel as well. In fact, I'm about to upload a Lost Bill Cariola hosted episode that I wasn't able to upload till just now. So check that out. That's a fun episode. And yeah, more shenanigans that was happening on here. And then Pierce Wrestling Channel as well for all your wrestling needs. And hey, I don't know about Brian, but the rest of us love you more than you'll ever know.